tackles Shaq Thompson for a 3-yard loss.
Shaq busting through. My goodness. When you and what we see is North Carolina offense coming to fruition because Cam is actually a pocket quarterback. Who knew? Oh my goodness.
Tackles the Camry, busting through at the 30, 35, 40. Quick race down the right side. Here he goes at the 50, 40, to the Miami 30, 20, at the 10. A swipe with the ankles. They can't get him. Touchdown, Christian McCaffrey.
They can't get him, but you can catch us. It's the C3 Panthers podcast brought to you by CarolinaCatChronicles.com. My name's Tony Dunn. I'm here with my boy Cody Lashney. What's up, Panther fam out there? Cody, how you doing, my friend?
Chilling, man. It's a Tuesday night. You know what we do on Tuesday nights. We talk about the Carolina Panthers with the best chat room on YouTube. Scott Thomas is here. Joshua Mass, Underground West. Susan already dropped a $14.99 love bomb. We love you, Susan. Hey, man, ain't nothing to it but to do it. Let's roll.
Tonight's show, guys, is OTAs, Dazzle, and Jackson is no stranger to that action, right? I think this is the 20th episode of the season, 2021, somewhere in there. We're going to be talking OTAs. We'll talk a little bit about the skill positions, and we'll get into some details as well about anything from, new defense installment and how far this actually is, what the Panthers will look like, and what we're hearing differently about what they will look like coming out of these OTAs and going into this season. And we've even got Ron Rivera with a little egg on his face. And so we got a good show for you guys tonight. We want you to be a part of it. Thanks for joining in the chat room, all you on YouTube. Shout out to you guys. Y'all are the best here with us every week, making for one of the great internet conversations in Panther Nation out there. Go ahead and smash that thumbs up button if you're listening. Also, we want you to be a participant on the show and call in using the Cat Calls line. The number is 252-228-5098. And, man, it is the starving time of the season, Cody. This is the time that people are starting to make lists. They are thinking about – it was so hot out. It was so hot out today in Greenville, North Carolina, and it has been the last couple of days. And you just retreat to the air conditioning, and there's no sports on. There's nothing. We're football starved, and the best thing we got is a couple of guys out there running around in shorts in OTAs. They look pretty good doing it, don't they, Cody?
They look damn good doing it. And you'd be surprised, man. It seems like every year around the time of OTAs, man, we get some clips and some videos coming out that, man, it makes you wish the Panthers football was this Sunday, man. We have some great clips to show. And by the way, I didn't forget you, Trill. I see you, man. Trill 110, Tizzy, Jeff Hodge. We got the whole crew, man. So, but yeah.
Let's go ahead and cue up here. You want to talk about how much we miss the Panthers and how good they look. Ladies in the house. Cody, I know that they did a little something for the ladies recently. And boy, if it doesn't get the ladies excited, it got me excited.
Yeah, I see only the dudes in the chat room right now. But hey, to whoever sees this, whoever may enjoy it, this is for you.
I liked it.
Here we go!
Take it off!
Oh,
Take it off!
Come on, man! Come on, man! Come on, man! Come on, man! Don't be that way! You guys know McCaffrey's ready.
Luke got to go to the damn tanning bed.
Do you want to see August? Come on, dog! Oh, Greg's coming. Greg's coming. Oh, my God! Hey, August! August!
Look at Greg. That's Thor right there.
We got an on 3. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
So anyway, none of them look.
Boy, that got me excited. Woo, it's hot in here.
None of them look quite as good as I do with my shirt off, but they're almost there. And yeah, man, look, that's the morale building right there, man. I mean, they're into it. They're ready for the season, man. I'm into it. Yeah, that gets me pumped up. In a very straight kind of way, I might say. But hey, I'm excited. Yeah, there's a lot to look forward to in Panthers football. What else
All
can I
right,
say?
a couple of things stand out to me on that video. If it isn't hot in here, first, we are a good-looking bunch of men, the Carolina Panthers. But number one, did you hear did you hear Greg Olsen say Christian McCaffrey's been posing for 10 minutes over there? So Christian McCaffrey he's been eating up the attention, or at least Greg Olsen's reminding him that the ladies are looking, and he is just strutting his stuff, showing off his big muscles. He does look fit, but when you see him in that image beside other very fit individuals, he doesn't look as giant as some of those pictures made him look. But he looks very healthy and ready to roll. The second thing that sticks out to me, Cam Newton, he's having fun. He's smiling. He's clapping. He's waving his arms around. He is part of the scene. He's optimistic. It does not at this point. I know he's not throwing, but right now I have not seen any evidence that his recovery is going poorly.
No, and listen, that man is the leader of our football team. So even if you're not able to be on the field throwing the football, I mean, that guy is the centerpiece of everything that you do. And it's been that way for a long time, man. People try and knock Cam Newton for his leadership. And I don't know why you would ever do that, man. Cam Newton is getting everybody excited, prepared. And I do have a feeling before it's all said and done, they're going to have Luke with his shirt off, flexing just like everyone else. He was even calling out David Tepper on Instagram to come take his shirt off and flex his muscles, although his is more of a financial muscle. But yeah, man, I mean, this team goes where Cam Newton goes, physically, mentally, everything.
Speaking of Cam Newton and his leadership, I saw this on Panthers Reddit, and it was a profile that was published on Robert Aguayo versus the Yips, and it was a profile done on, remember the former second round kicker who played for the Panthers or tried out for the Panthers temporarily. I saw this on Reddit. Someone was talking about this, and they said that Cam Newton on his first day in the locker rooms came up to him and said, "Hi, I'm Cam Newton." Introduced him to Robert Aguayo, and he said, "Oh, I know who." And Robert Aguayo said, "I'm Robert Aguayo." And Cam said, "I know who you are. Welcome, man." And then he began to walk away, but then he turned back and he said, "Man, I got to put my 2 cents in. You just got to get your swagger back, and you'll be good. You'll be fine." So at a time, think about this: the time in the season that was. The Panthers were on a losing streak of losing streaks at that point. Cam Newton's battling through a shoulder injury that is ultimately going to derail him. And he is still he's encouraging guys on his team. That's a good locker room. That's a good leader. Cam Newton, things are good. I mean, he is the guy that we thought he was.
Yeah, man. Listen, and Cam knows about it too. I mean, after 2015, you have that MVP season. You get hurt at the end of the year. The season doesn't go how you want it to. And yeah, man, sometimes you just lose your mojo and lose your rhythm. And Cam Newton's been through it, man. So he's able to talk to some of these players and tell them, "Hey, man, just dust it off. It's time to get out there and do what you do and play football, man." That's numero uno.
Jeff Hodge, thanks for the compliments. He said that the C3 Panthers podcast needs to be made the official Panthers podcast, calling for them to do a little bit more groundwork on the Panthers home app when it comes to podcasts. I tell you this, one day, that's what I thought, is that one day I think it'd be smart if the team bought even their fan media. Like if they paid me, I would be nothing but like, hey man,
Dude,
everything is fantastic in Carolina Pantherland.
Tony Dunn, let's dream together, man. One day you and I are employed by the Panthers, and we're doing this for the Carolina Panthers. I'm so down, man. I'm ready to do it.
I mean, what's the problem? Own your fan media, right?
Yeah.
I'll sell out. I'll sell out for you.
No, sure.
Give us access. But I do think it would be cool is that if you gave some fans some kind of access and then didn't put rules on them and also didn't ask them to be journalists. But like, let's have, I mean, why not? It's about fans. I think that would be cool. Buy us out. Buy us out. We're cheap. We're cheap. No, see what else I want to talk about. OTAs though. OTAs have been going on. The reason for today's topic or the name of the show was Dazzles because, well, that's not the whole name of the show, but Samuels and Donte Jackson dazzled a little bit today. Why don't we go ahead and pull up the Jackson clip? Fast, speedy, a guy that had a remarkable rookie season. Donte Jackson, a lot of excitement surrounding him, a lot of ability. And look at this. He got a little Odell in him.
Woo! I mean, he does come from LSU.
There's something to be said that he can he be an elite corner?
Hell yes, he can. And, he was on his way to doing just that at the end of the season. And, this is part of the reason, not to go off the rails here, but, publications like PFF, people read PFF numbers and think that's the be-all, end-all. But really, PFF a lot of times does lack a lot of context. And they graded Donte Jackson pretty bad at the end of the year last year. But it was apparent to anyone that watched him, he was an incredible football player in his first year, 4 interceptions. I mean, the guy, look at how he moves his hips, that change of direction, the ability to mirror the receiver in front of you and be right in their pocket. Dude, that's next level. That's real athleticism. And he has a mind for the football.
What I think the concerns, if there are concerns, the question, I'll put this out to the audience too, is can Donte Jackson become an elite corner? Right now, exciting speed, right? But a little slight of build. The question I don't think has to do with his athleticism and his ability. And I don't think there are any questions with him in his commitment to the game. But I think right now that the only thing that could get in the way of him becoming potentially the best cornerback in Panther history, like he has, I think, the skill set to do this, is that himself. Like that's the only thing, is that will he commit to becoming like a student of the game? He may already be, for all we know. Because tell me this, Cody, have you seen a player in the Panthers secondary your entire time of being a Panthers fan who showed that much promise in his rookie season?
No, I really have not. I mean, even Josh Norman turned it on later in his career. And even then, he never had the high-end athleticism that Donte Jackson has, the ability to play football like that. Donte Jackson, in my opinion, is the future of the NFL. When you look at guys like Patrick Mahomes and Eric Rodgers and Deshaun Watson, and they're just throwing bombs down the field, I'm a firm believer in press man coverage. And that's what Donte Jackson does, whereas Josh Norman was more of a zone corner. And I just feel that a dominant press man corner in today's NFL, man, that's an asset on your football team. And Donte Jackson probably has the potential to be the best at doing specifically that maybe the Panthers have ever had. And he has the bravado. I mean, what could you not want in Donte Jackson?
Well, as the last player in our secondary with that kind of those elite traits, was a Chris Gamble. And Chris Gamble had moments too where a lot of people at first questioned his commitment to the game. From what I remember, though, Chris Gamble was a little bit bigger of a guy. Donte Jackson is exciting.
Yeah.
He could be. In many ways, I'm just seeing some things, and maybe this is my endless optimism, but I've been thinking about this, Cody, is we haven't talked about him in the offseason a lot. You know, our attention has been focused so much on the Panthers pass rush, some of the limitations we have, some of the guys that are departing. Are we changing defense? These things. And somewhat of uncertainty, but what I think I'm most certain is that Donte Jackson could be the most talented player in our secondary. And that's saying something given Eric Reed. Show us the box jump video. Show us what Eric Reed's back. I think there might be more talent in this secondary than we have given credit for ever. Actually, I think this might be the best secondary we've ever had in a while.
Look, that I don't know
Play it
the exact.
one more time.
Yeah, I don't know the exact measurements of how tall that is, but that's a tall jump, man. That's hard to do right there. I'm hoping that it replays on the YouTube video. I see it replaying for me, but not all the time on the YouTube video. So sometimes I'll back out of it and get back into it.
I got you.
But yeah, listen, man. Eric Reed has that high-end athleticism. Yeah, you're right, Tony.
Dude, he made that look easy. The last 6 inches, he glided. He was still the ascent was too easy there. He could have done 6 more inches. Now, that's what I'm actually thinking of. I see Donte Jackson working over there. I think as Underground West described, he has that it factor. When I see Donte Jackson and I think about potential, now you guys are going to go crazy because I'm going to say a Hall of Famer's name, but the bravado, and not to the extent of the person I'm going to name, but the speed and the it factor, Deion Sanders, baby. Now, Deion was a lot tall. You know, he was of a different strength. Like, I mean, he's that fast. Deion's running Donte Jackson speed, and he was probably over 6 foot. Let's see, what was Deion Jackson? Let's see what he is.
Probably about 6. Well, I know Dante's 5'10", and then I think I don't know. I'm not good with
Deion Jackson. Hold on. Why did I say Deion Jackson? Who am I thinking of? Deion
Sanders.
Deion Sanders. Why did I say Deion Jackson? Because I said Donte Jackson. I was putting both of them together. Prime time. So let's see. Prime time was how tall was he? Sitting there going crazy, like what kind of people think I'm retarded out there? I should say that he was only sitting. He was 6 foot. 6 foot.
Who was the shutdown corner that played for the Jets for all those years, and then he went to the Patriots? He was like the best corner in football for a number.
Yeah,
of years.
it was. Hold on. Why'd you ask me his name? Chat room, get on it. He was related to.
That's who he reminds me of a little bit. I'm kind of similar.
Hold on. God, what was his name? Come on, chat room, help us out. Yeah, Daryl Reeves. Daryl Reeves. Now, I think I see like Deion, man. Primetime was all about the glitz, the glamour, taking it to the house. Could hang with anybody. Deion Sanders, primetime. That's the excitement that could be there if we get Donte Jackson exploding. I would love to see that. You know who else?
I have more faith that he has better potential to be a true number one shutdown corner than Bradbury. And Bradbury, you know, there are a lot of detractors from Bradbury. I don't think he's as bad as people have made him out to be. But at the same time, I don't feel he has the upper level that Donte Jackson does.
It's Darrell Reeves. Darrell Reeves.
Yeah, man.
He was, yeah, and talk about what he was great at. You know, he's even better than at football was negotiating contracts. He bet on himself. One of the things I liked about Darrelle Revis was that he signed short deals, and he was ready to like he wanted to raise his own ceiling. He gambled on himself a lot in a way that some other players were concerned to do at the time. I really think he set kind of the tone and the pattern for what some of the players who have made some of the most money have done since then. Now, talk about another exciting player and fast player, Curtis Samuel, oohing and on, laying out for the catch. Every time he falls down, I'm like, please get up. Don't be hurt.
I mean,
my former love, Demir Bird, got hurt every time he fell down.
Listen, no pun intended, because I know my man had some problems, but this makes my heart flutter. I mean, God. This right here is special. Just laying out, going and get the football. That's what Curtis Samuel does, baby. Listen, I'm a fan of DJ Moore. I think DJ Moore has a lot of potential. I'm telling you, man, right now, I genuinely believe that Curtis Samuel has the potential to be the best wide receiver on our football team, man. I am on Team Samuel. I'm telling you, he has an incredible upside. Think of what Ted Ginn was able to do in 2015 for the Panthers. I mean, he represents that kind of threat and then some. Curtis Samuel, his upside is limitless.
Oh, gosh, hold on. I got to play this. Is Ted Ginn Jr. still talking about –
he's putting on a race.
Yeah, so I think Donte Jackson could be in that. Curtis Samuel could be on that.
Yeah.
Demir Bird can be in that. There's a lot of fast people, but let's see. What does Ted Ginn say? Ted Ginn says something that he will race anybody for $10,000.
Yeah, they're doing a competition. They're doing a race. So
we have some fast players on our team. We got some fast players. DJ Moore's pretty quick, but Samuel and Donte Jackson have elite level. Who do you think is faster, Samuel or Donte Jackson?
They ran the same time. They both ran a 4.31. So, but then Donte pulled up a little bit. So I don't know. I might say Donte might be the fastest player on our team right now. He was trying to break the all-time 40-time combine record. He was just short of it. He ran a 4.31, but so did Samuel. I mean, we have some speedsters on our team right now.
We're definitely a changing team, and to speak on that a little bit,
sure.
let's talk about this. Is as we see these OTAs unfold, Cody, some of the talk at this point has been, or a lot of talk has been about the defense. We've speculated about the shifts that we've been making in a 3-4 defense, and we continue to hear things about the Panthers adapting to this new NFL, which is strange to me. But I think what we're seeing is that what was rumored as some just minor changes at first, or some changes, has been a philosophical overhaul when it comes to the defense. Cody, let's go ahead and put up the 3-4 defense clip. It's just a tweet that I saw from Joe Person today. And Joe Person, he said Ron Rivera still hasn't said the Panthers primarily a 3-4 three-man front, but he strongly suggested it today when he referenced making the move to a little bit of a 3-4 base. Now, so we've seen suggestions of this when it comes to moves in free agency, the addition of Bruce Irvin. You wondered about some of the talent on the team already, whether it be a Marquise Haynes, whether it be a Mario Addison. Were they better suited for that different front? And then the Panthers go out and get Brian Burns, Christian Miller, and now everything we see, they let all the linebackers, the traditional type linebackers, walk. It's Luke Kuechly and Shaq And then I think we are making the full sell change, a complete change to a 3-4 defense. And then it goes on, and Jordan Rodriguez then tells us to, whoa, slow your roll. She says this, she quote retweeted Joe Person, and she said, there's going to be a lot of 3 down linemen. Sometimes there will be 4 down linemen and nickel. But because they want to be as multiple as possible, even the definition of a base is a bit restrictive. They've been okay with being restrictive on offense, on defense, no more. Jordan Rodriguez bought 100% into the coach speak, and I'm telling you this, it is not that complicated, Jordan. Joe Person is right here. The Panthers defense is gone to a 3-4 defense. It's plain and simple. And don't give me this nonsense about, well, of course they're going to play nickel. Well, of course, 3-4 different defenses play nickel too. So do they put 4 down linemen down. This defense will look like a lot I was looking at Pittsburgh Steelers tape going back when they played the Panthers. That's what this defense is going to be. And you're not going to say the Steelers aren't a 3-4 defense. It's more complicated than that. They're a 3-4 defense.
Well, first let me do this. Joe Riolano is on the show tonight. Joe Riolano, ladies and gentlemen. How are you, buddy?
I'm good, man. I'm doing real well. Glad to be up in the hizzy tonight.
Welcome
awesome,
to the house,
man.
Joe.
We're happy to have you on Tuesday night, man. But one of the things I do want to say is I disagree with you, Tony Dunn. I think Jordan has to be right. And let me tell you why. Because there is literally the difference between a 4-3 and a 3-4 is pointless if the whole reason why you're doing things differently is because you don't want to know, or you don't want the opposing offenses to know where you're rushing from and what you're going to do, down in and down out. They want to be able to confuse the offense and provide them different looks. And I think if you went to a primary 3-4, I mean, even though we've drafted the people to do it, I still think it benefits us to be able to use, people like F.A. Obata and Mario Addison as a 5-tech in a 4-3 defense. I really do feel that this isn't going to be a permanent every down thing. They want to be able to switch it up and throw different things at them. And I'm hoping that Ron Rivera stays true to his word and that's what we're going to do. Otherwise, I'm not sure that it's going to be a very successful venture if that's what we did all the time.
Well, I don't think we'll do it all the time. I think what we're going to experience is running the 3-4 a lot, but we will also incorporate a 3-3-5 when on passing downs. We won't necessarily go to a 4-down a 4-down lineman situation. We may stay with a 3-3-5. So I think you'll see a little bit more of that, and that may be where you'll notice the bigger difference. That
I'm hoping
you'll
so.
see more 3-3-5.
I'm telling you, this is going to look significantly different from what we have ever seen as Panther fans. Going back, I'm telling you this. I watched the game for the go back and watch week 10 versus, well, it's week 10, but it was like our week 8 or week 9 because we had a bye week at that point where we fell off the rails when the Steelers game.
Mm-hmm.
That defense, they went out there. They gave 3 down lineman looks. They gave 4 in a couple of short yardage situations where they were 4th and 1 situation. They went to something that looked a little bit more traditional of what we did. But I'm telling you, their defensive ends were standing up and the whole time, even when they were crowding the line. And they ran the nickel a ton. What I saw was this, is like Joe said, there was 3-3-5. But that third linebacker is barely a linebacker in that system there.
Yeah.
He is crashing on that passing down. And then you have 5 corners out there. I say you're going to see Luke Kuechly. You're going to see Shaq Thompson in the middle. You're going to see us in nickel a lot when they're in passing downs. and then we're going to be crashing with that third linebacker. It's going to look different, and I am against what I think is to be like, oh, it's so nuanced. It's concentric circles, and it's not one or the other, and this and that. No, you look at it, and I tell you what, how about this? You might not be able to call the 3-4 the base defense, but you sure as hell won't be able to call it a 4-3.
No, I mean, and at the end, does it matter? I mean, I'm just of the mindset that, if we're able to do a number of different things. So look at it this way: F.A. Obada, who's still going to be on the football team, who I think is going to make the roster, isn't going to be on the roster as an outside linebacker. They're going to want him as a 4-3 defensive end. Right now, we're in a good position.
They're just going to want him as the defensive end. That's the thing, is that he might be standing up. He could put it.
I don't think you put him standing up.
When you go back and watch the Steelers film, is all like half the time they're standing up, even when they're all four of them are on the line. Two of them are standing up.
Trying to be the Steelers, on defense.
Yes.
I don't know. I mean,
similar.
Similar. Is that
you're not talking about?
They have Bud Dupree. They count one of their linebackers as Bud Dupree. The guy's 269 pounds.
Okay.
And they call him a linebacker. Yeah. And all they do is stand up and rush at the quarterback. That's what he does. He runs. He's a defensive end who is what I think is that I just feel that the Panthers go into a 3-4, and that whenever it is a passing down where the offense has the advantage, they're going to be in nickel. And whenever the defense has the slight advantage, that is down and distance advantage, 3 and longer, they're going to crash an extra linebacker, and that guy is not going to be Thomas Davis anymore. It's Bruce Irving. It's Brian Burns. These guys is that it's going to be a lot more oriented, I think, at stopping the pass and sacking the quarterback.
Right, stopping the pass by getting to the quarterback.
Yes.
I think, Cody, you have a point with F.A. Obada. You're going to see a 4-man front in 4th and a yard and a half. Like you said, Tony, in the Steelers game when they played the Panthers last year. You'll see the defensive end come in and line up as part of a 4-man front on a short yardage situation. He'll definitely be in the game then. I'm talking about
3rd and 2, where you think.
Sorry, go ahead, Tony.
Yes, or those situations. I think there are. You watch the Steelers tape, and there were times that they had 4 men with their hand in the dirt. But most of the time, I tell you this is that I just don't feel that this commitment has been impartial, just in part. It really seems like the Panthers are destined at this point for a really significant change on defense. And I don't want to hear this is that it's the evolution of the NFL and we have to blend and blend and blend. The person who doesn't evolve, and I don't trust the words evolution in his mouth, is Ron Rivera. He tried to give us the evolution line forever. Is that this is going to a defense that just tends to work better in this NFL with the type of talent that's coming out of college. The linemen that are coming out of college tend to thrive in that system a little bit more.
I mean, that is true. I do think that 3-4 tends to be the trend, but there's still a lot of successful 4-3 teams, and like I said, the ability to switch up our rush and not be so predictable on defense. I mean, I'm taking Ron Rivera at his word. And think of it this way: we've been a 4-3 for so long. Our players damn near have it ingrained in their brains on how to pass rush from a 4-3. So, I mean, it's really kind of, if you're not going to have 4 down linemen at some point in time, when that's what they've been doing for, however long they've been in Carolina, it's almost, a bad idea to not use them in that area, especially when they're so used to it. Then on other downs,
we're not going to start FA about it, though.
No, I know. Well, I don't know. Probably not. But then you have different packages with people like Brian Burns and Christian Miller coming in, Bruce Irvin for the versatility. I feel we have the personality that if we stuck to one over the other, that's just being lazy and conforming to the fads of the time rather than trying to do something new and dynamic, which is what I genuinely hope that we are doing.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we have the personnel to run a lot of 4-3 anymore. And I would even say at linebacker too.
There's no doubt. We will definitely see it. And at the same time, we may not be done with acquisitions. I don't know if we got to that, maybe I'm jumping the gun, but just looking at McCoy.
What would he do to the defense?
I think he'd play defensive end in the 4-3, right? I don't think he's a nose tackle.
He played defensive tackle.
He played defensive tackle.
4-3
in a 4-3. But if over here,
he could be a defensive end in a 3-4.
In a 3-4, playing the 3-tech. So imagine Poe in the middle, K1 on one side, Gerald McCoy on the other side. Then hold on, we're not done. Then let's put Brian Burns as outside linebacker. Then let's put Christian Miller or Bruce Irvin on the other side, and let's beat the shit out of the quarterback, man. That's what I'm saying. I'm down for that, man.
I think he's going to be too expensive.
Yeah, I don't think we'll get him. But if we could, man, the things that could happen.
Yeah, I'd like to see him. I'm excited about the shift, and I think that it's going to be a breath of fresh air to our defense. And I think it's going to work and play towards this NFL a lot that is getting the ball out quick. I like that the athletes and how they look at it in the 3. Look, we have always struggled against 3-4 defenses. Our own offense has always struggled.
Because it was so rare that you play a 3-4 defense. It really was. I mean, everyone ran a 4-3 for the most part, save a couple of teams. So, yeah, you don't really see it. So it's a whole nother ball game when you have to play against it.
I do think, I think that my gear grinding with Jordan in this case, Jordan Rodriguez, is not that it was grinding gears. Is that I do think at some point too, that when you're trying to be the reporter and the objective one, the good one, that you can play it too conservative when I think is, look, Ron Rivera is feeding us these kind of lines like, don't expect too much. We're just do whatever is the best situation. But we've never done anything like this in the past. And let's not act like those couple of times we did it last year was us mixing it in. It was just a sprinkle. Well, this is going to be a featured ingredient now in our defense. Right. And Ron Rivera has had experience with this defense in the past.
This is a commitment from us. It's a commitment to a new type of defense.
I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. Doing something new, being able to, like I said many times before, rush the quarterback from multiple different positions. I think that's needed for us, man. And then think about how it benefits Luke. And they're not to jump the gun, but they put an article about that today on how Luke does in a 3-4 alignment and whether if he benefits or not. And I didn't read it yet, but I personally feel like now, you have him in different positions. They don't know what Luke is doing, where he's going, what he's doing with the football. That's exciting, and it opens up a new facet to one of the best players that has ever been in a Carolina Panther jersey. By the way, just a little tidbit of what he's been doing at OTAs. Grabbing interceptions like it's nothing, like number 59 does. I'm ready for it, man. I feel it'll be a fun defense to watch.
I like the idea of the 3-4 defense there, and we'll get off of it in just a second. I just talk what I like about it in this case is that I think sometimes in the traditional defense, you ask the linebackers, it's hard to get linebackers enough of them that are good. And I know that sounds crazy because in a 3-4 defense, you're putting more linebackers, but I barely count those guys as linebackers. Calling Bud Dupree a linebacker to me, calling Bruce Irvin a linebacker to me is not who I think of when I think of a linebacker. And that is not in the Thomas Davis, the Luke Kuechly, the Will Witherspoons, who was the Dan Morgans. Those are not those types of players. I think that the defensive ends too, the guys that are coming out, and the fact that we have this stupid, or we have this like claim now, we call them edge rushers. Like they're not defensive ends. They're just like edge guys. To me, that's like they're barely defensive ends in that case. So yeah. I feel like this is that we've got two guys on our team who can be real linebackers. I don't know if we've got the athletes and the horses to ask a linebacker to keep up with a slot receiver from another team.
No, and that's not the matchup that you would want. I mean, generally a slot receiver is.
It would happen if you trot three kind of traditional, the inside, the outside, the inside linebacker, this middle, and those traditional ones. They get put in those roles at times. But I think what you're going to see is that when we really think they're passing, we're going to have a lot of corners out there, and we're going to have a linebacker who really is a defensive end rushing the quarterback every time.
And then to what Joey was saying. You put a 3-3-5, and then you have 5 defensive backs. You can have Eric Reed, Rashawn Golden, Donte Jackson, Bradbury on the field at the same time, and really, you're betting on being able to hit the quarterback and being able to take the ball away. Give your defensive backs the opportunity to make a play on the football and take the ball away and get those highly coveted interceptions. And I feel we're in a good position to try and do that.
Joey, I saw this and I'm going to turn the mic to Joey on this one because Joey was the first person to say this in last season. He said that the Panthers defense looked old. Well, Joey, Greg Olsen is the oldest player on the Panthers right now. Can you believe that? The oldest player is Greg Olsen. What is he, 34 maybe?
Yeah, I think that's right.
So now that you hear that, I do think we have a strong enough core with Cam, Luke, and Short. But this team are they going to be too young? I don't have that sense, Joey. I feel like we're in a good spot of a lot of professionals and rookies who have some guys that they're young enough to relate to. What do you think about the composition of this roster and how it's starting to change? And then we're going to talk a little bit about skill positions.
Well, this is something that needed to happen a couple of years ago, probably. We needed to get younger. We needed to get better players on the field for less money as well, in some circumstances. But we made some good moves. I'm really pleased with Herney since he's been back. But there were some changes that needed to be made, and they were made. I think we took a different perspective than when Gettleman was here. Herney looked at the team much different, and he's making the right changes. We're going to be we could be good for the next couple of years. Serious contenders for the next 2, 3, maybe 4 years.
You're talking about the old hat on the team and the defense is Luke Kuechly.
Mm-hmm.
The old hat, Cody, is Eric Reed, 27 years old. Those are the guys with some of the most experience on the team. Dontari Poe might be the oldest defensive player.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have a list in front of me
Kyle
right
Love.
now.
I bet you it's Kyle Love. I bet you it's Kyle Love, Dontari Poe.
Okay, right.
I mean, hey, man, age is just a number, dude. You're only as old as you, you know? That's what they say, man.
I tell you this, my ass is old.
It's just a number.
Older. Man, I got out there and I was at the pool with my kids. I was huffing and puffing, man. Don't worry. But we are, I would say this.
Do some yoga, Tony.
Yeah, definitely. True that. It's so dramatically, it's such a shift.
It's like we didn't just the oldest team in the division to maybe the youngest.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Joseph Broach says Greg Oldson. That's silly.
I see what you did there.
I see what you did. There were some. No, I do think is that to me there's some there's so much uncertainty, but I love the idea now of guys that we're gonna wait to see what star is uncovered on the team, not what star is dimming.
Right.
Oh, or the one. Can we get one more season? I'm excited. That's why we had that conversation about Donte Jackson and the excitement that he could potentially offer, like Deion Sanders, like prime time. Like we could have I'm not saying he's going to be that, but we haven't had a time, I felt like, in a while where we had guys on the team other than Cam Newton and Luke Kuechly who could be that. Eternal. Yeah, this is the time for that. Now, speaking of Hope Springs and not hope, bad news at this point, not really bad, we don't know anything, but Ian Thomas and Torrey Smith have not participated in OTA so far. Cam still isn't throwing. So all of this Hope Springs Eternal is also dependent upon the health and this team. Ian Thomas, another young player that showed a lot of potential in one season. Now, let's get a couple of seasons under our belts before we start christening people great. Torrey Smith, though, if you better hope he's not a guy that has an injury lingering in training camp. That would be an easy way for the Panthers to say, if you're on the bubble, we need to save $5 million. And it's not because of your injury, but that is contributing to our concern.
So I'm on Twitter just now, and Torrey Smith, I don't know when you put it out, but you put out a tweet. It's a picture of himself, and it says decisions. And I don't know what. It was from 5:58 p.m. today. I have no idea what he's talking about. If he's looking to go somewhere else.
Let's speculate wildly and say he's going to retire. Maybe he's thinking about retiring.
Maybe so. I mean, listen, me and Tony have been back and forth on this. I don't feel that Torrey Smith has a great deal of value to our team, especially at the price point. I think that we have younger, better receivers on the football team that can pick up the slack. And, he just didn't do a lot for us last year. Granted, Newton, Cam had his shoulder injured, but, I mean, at the end of the day, other receivers on the team had better numbers than he did. So I don't really know what role Torrey Smith has with the football team right now.
Joey, this isn't decisions, and my man's talking about if he wants Thai food or if he wants Italian food. He's got a picture up. It's him in his football regalia.
Yeah.
Not regalia. He's in his Panthers uniform. He's fully dressed in a Panthers uniform with his helmet on.
Yes, he's expressing his torment of trying to make a decision whether or not to retire because it's a Panthers uniform.
The comments are hilarious, by the way.
Let's see. What are they saying?
No, there's one.
What would you decide? Would you do Thai or Italian tonight?
Me personally, I'm probably going for Italian. Although, I don't know. I'll jump off the deep end and say Mexican, throw a curveball and just pick it.
I had time for lunch. So Anjali, if you're from Greenville, that killer $7.95 lunch special was bomb diggity today. But I'm Italian, Joey. I eat Italian every day. You know what we had yesterday? You know, the wife and I had we had nothing in the house except for I had some peppers and some onions and some Italian sausage. We had made like they make it like a New York ball, like in New Jersey.
Oh,
the peppers and the onions. Yeah, straight with the mustard. We made that. That was our lunch. Talk about that. That's how you eat well at the. Well, I don't have a last name. My mom, my name should be Pansini, but I got a great dad, Vernon Dunn, who adopted me. Appreciate that, my friend. But look, decisions. What else what are they talking about in the chat room?
Well, and I mean, pretty much. I mean, everybody's kind of having their own.
What could his decision be?
Save money and let Torrey go. Underground West. I'm on his side. Save money and let Torrey go. I mean, listen. What is he providing at $5 million that we don't have? And another guy on the football team, and we just drafted a guy in Terry Godwin from Georgia. And we have Chris Hogan, and we have Jarius Wright on the football team. I don't know. Especially if he's hesitant about it, and his body still isn't well enough to be able to go. I mean, come on, we're kind of delaying the inevitable from my perspective.
Yeah, I'm all for him retiring. I don't think I was not excited when we picked him up. I was not excited when I saw him on the field. I suppose he was a positive factor in the locker room, but other than that, let's get a psychologist, a psychiatrist come in and pay her, $80,000 a year to be that positive influence in the locker room.
Yeah, dude, that does not wear on your cap. Your salary cap,
exactly.
Right? You're exactly. I do agree with that. Is that it? Kind of. You remember Jason Avant? Avant to catch the ball, the best music, the best song in football history. Go Google if you want to have an enjoyable night. Go Google. Jason Avant has great hands, and Jason Avant is a football savant. He was fantastic. You know what? We had a lot of stuff like that. Great locker room guy, holds the prayer meetings, but at the same time, he didn't offer anything to the team by that point. Like, he could barely even move. Now, I'm not saying Torrey Smith is at that point, but I think that decisions before we had a Chris Hogan here, I think that what we could be seeing is tomorrow, maybe it's as soon as tomorrow. Maybe it's not his decision. Maybe his decision not to retire or to keep playing, but decisions on what city he's going to have to go move to get his next job, because there could be a chance that he didn't practice in OTAs. This is a convenient time to move on from Torrey Smith. And boy, if we move on from Torrey Smith, really one of the least impressive stories of a veteran guy coming to the team. Definitely not the Jericho Cotchery story he was hoping for.
God, he couldn't carry Jericho's jockstrap with the contribution he made here. I mean,
all right. Cody, what did you say? Speaking of wide receiver, what were your thoughts? You said let's talk a little bit about skill positions. What are your thoughts right now? What do you classify as a skill position? Because I only got one skill, and that skill is Cam Newton. Now, what do you mean? Defensive end? Do you call it defensive end a skill position?
No. So in my mind, the skill position are your wide receivers, running backs, and defensive backs. So your safeties and your corners. And we've already talked about it a little bit, but from my perspective, I've always felt that, when the Panthers are at their best, the things that are best on the football team is the offensive line and the defensive line, and Cam Newton is on a roll. And really, it's not even so much the offensive line as it is the defensive line. Cam making a lot of magic with, some okay talent in front of them, depending on what season you're talking about. But, normally the defensive back position and our receivers, they're just kind of placeholders and guys that are meant to do the job, fit the role and kind of, give what they're taking. But I feel that this team right now, with the talent that we have set up, man, we have potential to have one of the best receiving and defensive backfield lineups that we've had in a long time. Eric Reed and Donte Jackson, James Bradbury.
And Bradbury. The fact is, Bradbury could be a tremendous number two.
Too. Trying to earn a brand new contract. I mean, this is his year to show what he's up and what he's made of. So, that has the potential to be one of the largest storylines moving into 2019 for us, in my opinion.
When I look at those positions, I tell you in the past, we have heard over and over a staff, a coaching staff, and a management that has always diminished that value and told us that was always a flash that was overrated. Right now, there's a explosiveness and excitement at certain positions. Wide receiver, I have the utmost confidence that DJ Moore, while everybody's excited about Curtis Samuel, I think DJ Moore's ceiling is so high. He's the guy that I'm ready to see develop into just an explosive player. But you've got Christian McCaffrey there alongside of Cam Newton. Joey, how long have I said this? Is that you just asked Cam Newton to make magic, man, that when it came to his receivers, he had to put the ball right on the dime. What Christian McCaffrey brought to the team, and maybe what DJ Moore and Curtis Samuel can be, is a guy that you just get the ball. We haven't had playmakers, man, on offense. And right now, Curtis Samuel could be one. Seems like he is one. DJ Moore seems like he is one. And McCaffrey is one. It's a good fit. I don't know. When was the last time we felt this way, Joey, about some of the offensive talent we have?
Oh, God.
Steve Smith and Jake Delhomme before his arm fell off.
One player. Yeah. Two players. I don't know that we've ever felt we had so many on offense. I know we have. Well, with Muhammad, Steve Smith, Jake Delhomme, yeah. There have been times, but they've been few and far between, for sure.
That was a long time ago.
And I don't know to this level either. But we definitely have the playmakers, God. We just need to be able to give Cam the time to get them the ball. And one of the biggest problems we experienced last year was no deep threat. And not being able to chunk that ball 35, 40 yards downfield really allows that defense to play tight.
And if I may piggyback on what you just said, Joe, I also think that Curtis Samuel, and hey, I'll even give you Torrey Smith, that, Curtis Samuel and Torrey Smith might have had a better year last year, and they probably would have had a better year last year if Cam Newton could throw the ball deep. If we did have that ability to, throw the bomb down the field, and that was something that was completely missing from our offense. And in fact, in the last game of the season, Kyle Allen throws a bomb to Curtis Samuel right in front of the end zone, and you're starting to see, what kind of an asset Samuel can be stretching defenses vertically.
Oh, so, absolutely.
Yeah, that's why I'm so excited about Curtis Samuel, and for that matter, DJ Moore. I mean, if they turn it on this season and Cam Newton is healthy, man, we might have a dynamic tandem on our hands, man.
We're going to be in trouble.
Stackhouse Mentality says Curtis Samuel's better than DJ Moore. I wish y'all would stop sleeping on him. And he goes on to say
he's my
Curtis
favorite.
runs faster, runs faster, better routes, and has yak. DJ good, but now besides CMC, Curtis Samuel is our best receiver. You know, I mean, I think people are sleeping on DJ Moore personally.
I agree.
I think that we are excited about Curtis Samuel. I think we've all been optimistic about what he could be. I think that DJ Moore is that if Curtis Samuel is and stays the better receiver than DJ Moore, that's going to be some good damn news, because I think DJ Moore, I think people are sleeping on him. I think he's going to come out. He's going to be a good player. I don't think he's going to be a limited player. And I hope Curtis Samuel is all of that and a bag of Doritos, because Christian McCaffrey is, and you start putting if it can just click. We need to get a couple of them clicking together at the same time, and it could just be electric. Yeah. I could see that, and there is, at least when I start thinking about the team that we have and the ceiling that they have, it just seems like the ceiling is a lot higher than we've had in the past.
Yes, absolutely. I think that is definitely the case. But you know, it all boils down to this. There's one. Well, not so giant, but there's really, really a bright spotlight focused on that right shoulder of Cam Newton. Yeah, that thing is good. If it is good, all I can say to the rest of the league is watch out, because the Panthers are going to be a contender.
Their offense under Norv Turner, with those guys who have gotten a taste of success a little bit. If Cam Newton, we know what he can be. We know it. Actually, we don't know what Cam Newton can be, because we haven't even seen the best of Cam Newton just yet. Mm-hmm. As long as that shoulder is all right, but we've seen enough from Cam Newton, and now we're starting to get excited about other positions. And while everything rests on Cam's shoulder, it doesn't rest on his shoulders as much as potentially it has in the past offensively. And then you add some protection and a commitment that the Panthers have made to bolstering that line. I'm even optimistic about the damn offensive line, Joey.
Yeah.
When was the last time we said we had it? We were like, I'm ready to see this line play.
I'm ready to see this line play. That's for damn sure, man. Listen, we talked about it before. If you put, Greg Little at left tackle, Darrell Williams at left guard, we have Paradis at center, Trey Turner at right guard, and Taylor Moton at right tackle. Shit, come on, man.
You know,
that has the potential to be nasty, man. A real offensive line.
Name. You said the name that has gone under the radar. We've talked a lot about him on the show. People have talked about him in the free agency point, but Paradis, what we need to know, that's the question. You want to ask Grill Bill the question on Friday or whatever, is how is Paradis out there?
I heard.
Is he moving around okay?
I heard I don't think he's participating yet. At least not in all the drills. No, I don't think not yet. I did hear a clip of an interview somebody did with him, and he said that the rehab is coming along perfect. That he's right on schedule, and, everything is going as good as they could have wanted it to.
We heard that stupid-ass shit from Matt Khalil, though, too. Matt Khalil going and disappointing other teams. Poor Deshaun Jackson. That man, for all them saying that they care about that guy and they want to build around him, don't put Matt Khalil. It's like saying we want to build around you and you went and got Mike Remmers.
Mm. Yeah, they're gonna kill my man Deshaun Watson over there, which is sad.
Black people.
Which is sad because we've seen what happens when you have an incredible talent at the quarterback position and you don't put enough protection in front of them. It doesn't turn out well. But, Matt Khalil was a farce. Like I said, after we drafted Greg Little, man, we haven't had a stalwart left tackle to protect that blind side since Jordan Gross. Ever since then, it's been a revolving door year after year, of which Michael Orr.
I would say we haven't had a stalwart period. Trey Turner has been the.
You mean at left tackle or just on the offensive line?
On the offensive line.
Oh, I disagree.
And I know you're going to say Ryan Khalil, but look, Ryan Khalil
and Andrew Norwell and Trey Turner?
That was one that.
Andrew Norwell was good for a while. I'm still
2 years. 2 years. 2 years.
Andrew Norwell is one of the best in the NFL, in my opinion.
No, Norwell is the best in the NFL, I think.
Wow. Yeah, but he was not here, but for 2. He didn't start for 2 years, dude.
He did.
For around 3 years. Yeah,
he was here 3, maybe 4 years, but I think he only really played significant time 2 years.
And remember, Minnesota Tolu went down, and that forced them to play Andrew Norwell. Andrew Norwell went undrafted. How about that?
Yeah. That's my point. But he has not been before Gettleman. I'm just saying this is we haven't had a cog on the offensive line that has been a long-term piece. Ryan Khalil is the only one, and over the last 4 years, he's struggled with injury. Since 2015, he's struggled with injury. But other than that, Trey Turner's been the only guy that started the position for more than 3 years. More than 3 years. Imagine if you had a different quarterback every 2 years.
Yeah. Listen, that offensive line.
There's zero consistency on that offensive line ever since 2013. Really, that's what it's just been, a revolving door of guys. And maybe that's just how it is in the NFL. But we haven't had a stud on the offensive line since Jordan Gross left, other than Trey Turner. I mean, yes, I'm saying Norwell is the stud for a moment, but we didn't re-sign him though.
Yeah, but in my mind, we
didn't want to pay him.
Yeah, we didn't want to pay him, but listen, I remember thinking that was so stupid.
He went on IR last year too, didn't
he?
Yeah, but listen, man, and the reason why, I mean, listen, I'm happy now if we end up having a great offensive line this year, which I think we will. But my mindset at the time was in 2015, Cam Newton had a dominant interior offensive line with Andrew Norwell, Ryan Khalil, and Trey Turner. Even if the tackle player wasn't the best, Cam's able to make so many moves on his own that it didn't really matter. So it doesn't matter if you have to pay Andrew Norwell and Trey Turner at the same time. I'm investing in protecting my number one asset, which is Cam Newton.
Yeah. I get you. No, that's it. So we're talking about all these things, the explosiveness, the excitement, and we're even excited about the offensive line. There has been never in the history of this show where we have been excited about the offensive line.
Yeah.
We have been pleased, right? We were pleased in 2015, but you know what? It fell off the map at the end as well. They fell off towards the end of the season. They started. Mike Rimmers became fatigued. You saw Michael Orr he played tremendous for us that year, but that was the best we've seen in a while. And Cam made them look better than they were. That's what I still maintain. This could be. I'm just excited. I can't believe I'm saying I'm excited about the offensive line. But anyway, you're listening to the C3 Panthers podcast. We want you to be a part of the show. We thank you for supporting the show and being a part of the chat room out there. We ask you to subscribe, to smash the thumbs up button, and support us to continue our effort each and every week to grow Panther Nation together. You can also be a part of the show by calling into the Cat Calls line. The number is 252-228-5098. We want to hear what you're thinking about when it comes to this offseason, to this team. Are you seeing the same changes that we are seeing, or are we being overly optimistic? We want to hear your take on that. You can leave a message anytime throughout the week. The number is 252-228-5098. Let's see what we got this week, and I'm going to go ahead. I always make the mistake of keeping the music down when I start it, so let's see if it works tonight.
What are your thoughts on catcalling?
Yeah, it's pretty. You shouldn't do that to somebody.
And how did that make you feel?
Very uncomfortable.
So how do you think catcalling makes the person feel?
It feels good, like.
Who's that cat sitting in the back corner with his face buried in the snow? Who's Who's that kid that can use one?
Hey, what's up, C3? It's your boy Nova Black. I was
Nova
calling
Black.
in, and excitement and optimism about what's coming, the upcoming season. The all-season moves, man. I love all of that. I know it's been a while since I've been on here. I was reading some of the articles online as well as, checking out some of the highlights, OTAs and stuff, listening to coaches film and stuff like that. Sounds like things is looking good, man. I remember the 2015 season I seen Curtis Samuel made a diving catch today or whatever. And it reminded me of how training camp and everything started off in 2015 with Cam Newton and Ted Ginn Jr. developing the chemistry and the connection on the deep ball. Hopefully, when Cam gets to throwing, hopefully, I'm being optimistic. When Cam gets to throwing, he'll be able to make that, develop that chemistry with the guys. And hopefully we'll be looking up on the offense for next season. But I'm excited about the defense. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be one hell of a defense, man, with Bruce Irvin and Mario Addison coaching up, the younger guys, and with Luke and Shaq in there. That is going to be one hell of a defense, man. I look forward to it. Thank you guys again, man, for keeping this daggone podcast rolling, even though I'm not always able to call in or nothing like that. I definitely always listen. I never miss an episode. Hope everybody having a great day. Hope everybody had a great week, a great Memorial Day weekend. And I look forward to training camp. Hopefully I can see some of you guys out there. I'm going to be at Fan Fest, a couple of preseason games, a couple of games a year. Anyway, you guys keep pounding, keep pumping out the podcast.
Nova Black, thank you so much for being a part of the show. We appreciate it, man. He has been a friend of us, a friend of our show. Been on draft night. He's been there. He called in from the stadium. Has been a killer supporter of the show. We appreciate it, Nova. And he's right now, it sounds like we're all in the same boat. We're sharing some optimism. Even in the chat room, D Mac says O-line and solid receiver lineup. Never thought we'd get it together. This is the time that hope springs or hope springs eternal, as Joe said. It all comes back to, boy, Cam Newton. It always seems to revolve around that. Cody, though, a lot to be excited. I feel like for a while I'm less scared about some of the weaknesses on the team than I am more optimistic about some of the strengths.
Yeah, no, I understand that. I'm picking up what you're putting down. I'm the same way, man. Like I said, the thing I'm looking at the most is that offensive line and the defensive line. I'm a firm believer that football is always won and lost in the trenches. If we're able to get after the opposing quarterback, at the same time protecting our own, we're going to win football games. And everybody reloaded. There's a lot of dominant pass rushers in the NFL. But, man, if our guys turn out and Cam Newton is healthy, I'm not just saying this because I'm a super fan. I'm not just saying this because I'm a Cam Newton fan. I genuinely think you'll see the best season out of Cam Newton that you will have ever seen him play. And I genuinely believe that. And I'm not just being a biased homer when I say that. You're looking at the culmination of experience, receivers that are on the same page with him, health, he's older, a better offensive line. I mean, I'm amped up for the possibility of what Cam Newton and the Panthers are going to be able to do this year.
And don't forget second year with Norv Turner. I think that's going to be could be tremendous. Now, and look, we were all excited about what Norv Turner did. Nobody was upset with Norv Turner's performance last year. He was calling it like and to think that he was handicapped with Cam at the moment with the deep ball and the talent. I'll say this: it'd be a damn shame if Cam ain't healthy this year when we got some things around him. for the first time, we got a little protect. You know what I'm saying? Like, wouldn't that be some shit? Is that this is the like, good Lord. But man, I think everything I see are all signs are pointing well. I don't think this is anything. I'm really optimistic about Cam Newton. I always will be. I know. I don't think that you've seen the best of Cam Newton. I will keep believing that. All right, the number is 252-228-5098. Let's see what else is going down on the Cat Calls line.
Hey, C3. Man, I like what you guys do. You guys are doing some good work over there. My name's John Boy Billy Graham Gano Jr. And I ain't one of them fake fans. No, I'm a real Panthers fan. I'm a true Panther fan. Born and bred. Hell, I was born right smack on the border between South Carolina and North Carolina at Carrollton. Oh. I'm telling you, it was destiny for me to be a Panthers fan. I'm just telling you, I was a fan before the team was a team. Hell, I was a fan before it was a thought in old JR's head. In fact, my Uncle Donnie, he's a dumbass Cowboys fan, always made fun of me. And when I was a kid, he always made fun of me. He said I was conceived in a Denny's on a Friday on Jeans Day. You know, my mama used to work there, and they had Blue Jean Friday. Anyway, that's beside the point of why I called. True Panther fans know what I'm about. Yeah, that's right. Anyway, I'm calling. I want to be talking about this thing that's reporting of the music them boys them be listening to in practice. Now, I'm not one of them conspiracy theorists. Now, I'm sure I'm probably not going to listen to no Nipsey Hussle or Nipple Hustle or whatever that Cam boy probably like. But this is America, and it seems like this is censorship of the media. I keep hearing that it ain't no big deal. It's just fans being weird, wanting to know what the Panthers players are listening to. But, man, I don't know. These media members, I just think they're a bunch of sissy liberal bias in them, and you can tell. Yeah, I'm telling you, this is a big damn deal. This is about our rights, not about 32 members of the Illuminati pulling the Pinocchio strings on us. I mean, I'm telling you, it should be okay for them boys to tell us to report on what they be listening to. Now, I don't understand. It has to be this Illuminati. I mean, I just don't understand what else you could explain a gag order on a music playlist. Unless, damn, if my name ain't John Boy Billy Graham Gano Jr., shoot, I think I figured it out. The Panthers won't let the media report what they be listening to because they worried about that evil Yankee fella, Bill Belichick. He probably has a bunch of them psychologists analyze songs that our players be listening to and put subliminal messages in the songs and play them around the opposing team. They trying to get in our heads. That's what they're worried about. Man, it's kind of like that Manchurian President movie. Well, anyway, man, I thank you, man. I listen to y'all's show every now and then. Sometimes I listen to it. Sometimes I just be living in Carowinds from weekend to weekend. You know, I got the season pass, but I'll be seeing you boys down when the football comes around, and y'all keep doing the good stuff. Y'all keep pounding.
Holy cow!
Whoa!
Caller. Holy mo! John Boy Billy Graham Gano Jr. just called in the show.
Did he say he was born at Carowinds?
Born right on the line. You know what? It sounded like he was talking about in the last week. This is the time of the year. I did see. I mean,
it made a lot of sense. I mean, shit.
There was. I do. You know what? I feel like that call. What it's referring to is that the. I'm sorry. I'm still trying to get my bearings. That last week there was a story. You know, the Panthers media put out a tweet, and it was a tweet, and it had DJ Ace Boogie, and it gave 10 songs that they were the playlist that they were listening to at the first OTA practice. So the next day, what I saw is that some people tweeted asking reporters what they were listening to and if DJ Ace Boogie was curating the playlist. And I think what that caller was referring to was Jordan Rodrigue of the Charlotte Observer reported that the media guide that the Panthers organization gives out is what they give out, and they say what you can and can't do out of practice, like what you can report on can you take pictures? Can you report on? Jordan Rodriguez had said that they were unable to report about what music they listened to. So I think that that's where the genesis of that call probably came from, is that then that everybody was going crazy, and not crazy. There's a lot of Panthers Twitter asking media members about like why this was. And I do wonder why the heck you couldn't. I'm with the caller there, is I'm too busy to really go and like be like, what the Panthers should probably do is put out a Spotify playlist so that for all of us is that after practice we can listen to the Spotify playlist instead of us having to go and ask on Twitter what the heck they listen to. But it does seem strange that would be something that they couldn't report on. Inquiring minds want to know is why do you think, Cody, that they would not allow you to report on the music, even if we don't care about it?
I have no idea. Who would care? I mean, is it like some YouTube type crap where if you play a song or they hear it in the background, it's like you're getting copyright strikes or whatever, or the people who own it aren't making money off of a 10-second snippet? Dude, I don't know. It's the dumbest shit in the world, in my opinion. I mean, not even allowed to report on it. I mean, what are we doing? It's I don't know. I don't understand that unless they're incorporating music into the playbook. So when you hear this song, you know it's this formation. Unless they're doing something crazy like that, I have no idea what this is about. Why they would even do it.
All right. Well,
the caller said the Illuminati, and I'm just saying, I'd be seeing a lot of triangles all over the place. So,
all right. Yeah. Well, look, as I tell you, this is that billionaire club. They probably have their reason and rationale for doing everything. So it's all about pulling the strings. Here we got one more call. The number's 252-228-5098. If you want to get in the C3 Panthers podcast, let's see what you got.
Hi, what's up, guys? This is Carl D.
What's up, Carl?
What's up, Cody?
What's up?
Tony, what's up, Joey?
Missed you, brother.
I've been gone for a few months.
Yes,
but now I am back. Now my schedule, I can be able to join y'all guys almost every Tuesday night.
There it is.
And the optimism is very high for me. So, yeah, this might be a good year. I feel it, Tony. I feel it. And Cody, your little speech talking about I ain't just doing this because I'm a super fan. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it, Cody. Yes, you are. You just saying that because you're a damn man.
You cannot.
I'm just kidding with you, Cody. But I'm just calling, telling y'all guys I'm back. Look forward to some more entertaining calls from me next week. I might even try to join the show next week. Till next time.
Do it up.
Poundy.
Carl D.
Way to go, Carl D. Way to go, Carl D. Thanks for calling the show. The number's 252-228. We encourage you, 5098. Those are the last. We encourage you to dial the full number, 252-228-5098, and be a part of the show. Go ahead and smash the thumbs up button and subscribe to the show. Tell a friend about it. All right, Cody. I think that's about it. I'm trying to think of. We've exhausted the topics to talk about when there is nothing to talk about or less to talk about. We do at least have OTAs. There's something. What do you? I get the final part of the show would be to ice up somebody, and I need you to go first because I haven't even thought about this.
So
actually, I already got mine. So yeah, it only takes 1 second. But go.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Do it.
Okay. Mine is pretty simple. Is the Milwaukee Bucks lose? Giannis walks out. Right, that's his name. What's the star's name?
Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Yeah, so everybody just calls him Giannis, right? Because they can't say his last name. So he storms out, and then all of a sudden you see tweets coming back to talk about Cam Newton. not storms out, but he just doesn't talk to the media. I don't even know the details of it. I just keep going back to this. Is why you jackasses got such a problem with Cam Newton. To you, Cam Newton haters, I say ice up. I'm going to ice up all the Cam Newton haters out there when it comes to his personality, his locker room presence, all of this and that, is that ultimately he is a human being who has strengths and weaknesses, flaws and imperfections, but beautifulness too. And all I see is beauty. You, my friend Cam Newton, I love you. I love you. No, but what the hell is it? Like, why do they gotta, why do they not, why is it that Cam brings out that polarizing element to people, even myself, in the polarizing of good? But here, look, I'm okay with players having their feelings and not being perfect all the time. But to you jackasses that in 2 or 3 lines think that you can just make a quip at a Cam Newton for your behest, whether it be Ben Albright or whatever that guy is that right now is causing a stir, whether it be the dude Adam Shine or Sheen or whatever who tries to throw low blows at Cam Newton. Y'all suck. So ice up. That's it. It's boring, but it's just like my weekly ice up. Cam Newton haters. Love you, Cam.
Ice him up. Tony Dunn, once upon a time on the show, you iced up children. And you've done it on multiple and you've done it on multiple occasions. I'm gonna try.
Where we're going.
I'm gonna try and one up you. And not only am I icing up children, but men and women. I'm icing up the entire state of Ohio. The entire state of Ohio, and maybe if it's not the entire state, but at least the percentage of the population that watches The Bachelorette, and more importantly, the percentage of the population that watches The Bachelorette, but also doesn't want to be informed that a tornado is on the way to their house.
This heavy rain is between you and the tornado. That's why this is a dangerous situation tonight. It's dark. It's also rainy. I was just checking social media. We have viewers complaining already. Just go back to the show. No, we're not going back to the show, folks. This is a dangerous situation, okay? It's nice rain. Think about this was your neighborhood. I'm sick and tired of people complaining about this. Our job here is to keep people safe, and that is what we're going to do. Some of you complain that this is all about my ego. Stop. Okay, just stop right now. It's not. I'm done with you people. I really am. This is pathetic. Dangerous situation here. All right, I'm sorry I did that. It just really bothers me that we have people that don't care about other people's safety around here. That's just ridiculous. New tornado warning here. That's the same one we had. That's headed to...
So apparently people were more interested in watching The Bachelorette than knowing that there's a twister in him and it's coming right for us. People in Ohio, they don't care,
Did
man.
you say Annie M?
It's a twister, Annie M. Yeah. You know, people are more concerned about who gets the next rose than, hey, are we going to be alive tomorrow? Is our neighborhood going to be here? So to all the idiots in Ohio State who were bombarding that weatherman's Twitter, yeah, ice up, stupid.
All right. You're listening to the C3 Panthers podcast, brought to you by CarolinaCatChronicles.com, where every Tuesday night we chop up the latest Panthers news and opinions. We thank the callers tonight. Cody, I thank you for hanging out with me on Tuesday. Joe, it was great seeing him. We're talking to him. Cody, how can they talk football and listen to you rant about the world on the internet until next Tuesday?
Follow me on Twitter, Cody Lack, CODYLAC. Talk about anything you want. I'm open. I'll talk. I'll reply to you. I'm an open book. And check out Draft Tech. In a few days, we're going to have a way too early 2020 mock draft. And I'm going to have a write-up for the Carolina Panthers. That's drafttech.com. Check it out.
You can follow me on Twitter at @cat_chronicles and be here on Tuesday nights. We got a lot more content coming as football unfolds, but just know this: every Tuesday night, no matter, you know what? I expect actually all of you to do the same that those people watching The Bachelorette did to that man on the TV, to do that every Tuesday night anytime you're not watching the C3 Panthers podcast or listening to it. Get us back on the air. We'll see you next Tuesday. We don't ever quit, even if twisters are in the air. I'll see you then, Cody. Keep pounding.
Keep pounding, y'all.